or as I was speaking in tongues and writing in cursive in the carpet, light began to come out of this finger and out of this hand. And I cannot describe to you the amount of fear that I felt when I was doing this. Now, at the time, I was going to an apostolic church, so I had some people that were dream interpreters through John Paul Jackson's satellite ministry and stuff like that. And but the amount of fear was just incredible, Josh. You know, and I'd gone to this apostolic church. I went to a friend of mine who was an interpreter and told him all this, what I was telling you. And he said, Mark, he says, the cloud that was in front of you, he said, was God. He said, you had a visitation from the Lord. It was the Spirit of the Lord. And he said, the cloud that came in behind you and stood to your right was an angel that's been assigned to you. And he said that whatever it is that God has ordained you to do, you were writing it in the carpet. And because I was writing in cursive, studies have shown we have our own style and flair when we write. He said, so whatever it is that you're going to write will have your own style and flair. But because you were writing it in the carpet, he said that it will affect your walk and the walks of others. And so he said, the fear that you felt, he said, was the spirit of the fear of the Lord. And God only gave me about that much, Josh, and it felt like he could have just vaporized me from existence.
Wow.
Because when I woke up, I was in the fetal position, and I couldn't open my eyes for 15 minutes because that fear was still with me. And when I opened my eyes, the clock said 1:33. And so it'd been like 33 minutes because my wife came to bed right at 1 o'clock. And I rolled over to my wife, and I said, I think I just had a vision or something. At the time, I wasn't quite sure. I was kind of getting into this a little bit. And she said even my voice was different. So it was kind of like the scripture talks about where Moses had to veil his face when he was in the presence of the Lord. It was kind of like that along those lines. So, but it was that set off a chain of events, basically, because in 2006, that was a month after I retired, I started going downhill. I got sick really bad. I couldn't eat for 4 and 5 days at a time. I lost all kinds of weight. I was bedridden for 4 and 5 days. No energy. Anxiety, depression. I gone to this went off like 4 or 5 years. I found a Christian doctor. He found a ton of stuff wrong with me, started to work on me, got me up to about 80%. I had a very low thyroid, severe adrenal burnout from the fire service, running day and night. And then I had the hormones of a 70-year-old at 39.
Wow.
And so, I mean, this just really just, you know, this was a time of God bringing the walls down for me because I had built a lot of walls up in the fire service running on people and, you know, cutting, shooting, stabbings. You know, protection type walls. And so one person had put it very eloquently. They said, you know, being a firefighter, you have to be a man's man. And, you know, God was turning me into his man at the time.
Oh, wow.
So through this breaking process that I went through, you know, God was turning me into his man, so to speak. And it was a breaking process because this is the most painful thing I've ever been through.